obviously they're not doing anything up there at the trend mine. I thought there was some kind of underground operation going on up there, but I guess not. Tech's got a big sign out there now. Oh, obviously done something. I wonder if the old building, the green building up here, all the windows are still smashed. If they fix that up. Oh, there's the building. Look at all the glasses. There's one broken window, two broken. Yeah, those are still the same. Been like that for 20 years. Since I've been out here. 2008. Well, no, 2009, sorry. Since I lived out here. Pheasant or grouse up there. Not pheasant. Yeah, big grouse. A lot of grouse up here. Some. the falls. Freeze over. Friend of mine's riverboat, jet boat, not riverboat, jet boat that he had. It's called Pierogi. That's pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to be able to video the whole way out here. It's a long drive, but I'll show you some of the interesting points along the way. Go up there, that takes you up to another part of the mine, like the original workings. Goes up pretty steep, like fairly steep hill and stuff. It climbs up fast. That's neat. There's mountain goats up there. You can sneak up on them. I got videos of doing that actually over on the left side of the mountain, up and behind there. I went up on my quad and snuck up and around, and then came up over the hill on foot to them, and it was probably, I don't know, 30, 40 yards away, not even. Pretty cool. Good fishing out here. Lots of grayling and mountain whitefish. Dolly Varden, got lots of them. Go under some of these bridges where the creeks go into the Murray, like some of the smaller little tributaries. There's something going on up there. I don't know what that is. Gas stuff, I guess. This road washed out 1 year. So the other road going up to the core, like the core launch road, which went up to the trend mine, that washed out on me once. I was a lost truck down off the mountain. Craziest thunderstorm I've ever seen or even heard of in my life. Just couldn't even can't even begin to describe it. Like, it was coming down so hard that in my truck, my haul truck, water was coming in through the weather stripping on the doors. Like, it was insane. Lightning strikes everywhere. Well, there's 14 strikes on equipment up at the mine. My truck was the last truck to get off the hill before the road washed out, and then the guys like still working on the mine had to get shuttled down by a bus and then walk across, and then get picked up by another bus on the other side of the washout. It was wild. And then this road here washed out at the same time. And that was 2007. I think the washout was just back there on this stretch. I don't remember exactly because I didn't get to see it when it happened. Because once it washed out, nobody was allowed down here until it was fixed. I do remember seeing the area when it was fixed up in the spring. There wasn't, well, it was spring, I guess. But anyways, when it was fixed up. I'm hoping that I can get out to the falls and that the road into the parking lot there is not too covered in snow. Well, one thing about coming out here in the wintertime, when there's snow on the road, is you don't have to deal with the mud, and you don't have to deal with this, like the dust in the summertime. This road has usually an inch of silt all over it, and then once you get through that silt layer, there's just exposed cobble. It's kind of a rough, crappy road, so it's way nicer to drive out here when it's like this. Clipping along at 60 kilometers an hour, and it's no issue whatsoever. There's stretches there I'm doing like 75. There's lots of traction. Windy. Oh, there's no trees that come down across the road. That wouldn't be good. Whenever you're running on these kinds of roads with a big truck, there's usually only a little strip of gravel. You'll always want to keep one tire on that. And there it goes clean, so you gotta watch that. I'm surprised they plowed this road this far. You usually get up here ways and then they just turn around. There's a gravel pit. And that's sometimes as far as they go, but they've got other Forest Service roads up here that accessible for the gas. Oil and gas, well, it's not oil, it's gas fields out here, CNRL. There's all sorts of different lease sites and stuff that the operators need to go check on. If the compressor station goes down or anything like that, they're going to be able to get out there and reset it. Yeah, I'm doing like 75, no issues. Came out here lots in my truck and did it a few times with a camper on it, and there was like, you know, so much silt and dust in the camper afterwards. It's horrible. Horrible. A lot of people come out here to the campsite too. I've seen 2 vehicles and basically 145, 50 kilometers on the highway and then turning on here. So yeah, pretty nice, relaxing, no hustle and bustle. It's definitely a lot quieter out here than it used to be. Over 24 kilometers, 30 kilometers to Kinuseo. So I don't know if we'll get there. We'll see, hopefully. Hopefully we get there before dark. I got not a lot of time, but anyways. Well, no more plowing on the roads, so I just saw an eagle. There's a gut pile off the side of the road there with some ravens as well. But you usually see a lot of eagles up here in the wintertime. Certain times of the year, the golden eagles fly through here on their way up to Alaska, I think. There's a few inches of snow here. Something running down the road there. Oh, probably 24 hours ago. Oh, it's something a little more recent there. Oh, a little bumpy. I tell you, all these stupid driving features on these trucks, this advanced traction control. I used to get stuck going down to trying to go down to another lake, and then I turned around to get out, and I can't spin the darn wheels. I gotta figure out how to use it. I ended up turning it off and getting enough wheel spin to get out, but yeah, it's frustrating. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get out there. This is taking a little bit more concentration to drive than. There's not much going on down there. I'm gonna have to end the video for a bit. Focus on one of them. Yeah, definitely not maintained. It's not much snow, maybe 5-6 inches at top. Just like tops. Ugh, tongue tied today. But yeah, we still got 20-something kilometers to go, so it's gonna be a long, slow drive out there. I have a feeling I'm not going to get out there before it gets dark. It's 3 o'clock right now. I only got another half an hour of reasonable daylight. So I really hope that I get out there before it gets dark. A lot of effort to get out here. Might not even be able to get down to the parking lot. Might not even be able to see it even if I can. I don't notice this truck having a whole lot more traction than my older F350, even though this is a Tremor and it's got a locking diff and it's got the limited slip front end. But we'll see. I'm sure it'd be a lot better on dry, hard stuff like gravel, washouts, cross stitches and stuff. Ugh, it's bumpy though. Definitely a little smoother riding than my old truck. Ugh, I got to put this thing down again. Yeah, these mountains when it's clear, really quite something to look at. We're starting to get into them a little bit now. Can't really see them right now because the weather's kind of blowing in a little bit. But I used to come out here and take pictures in the wintertime and get some really good pictures. Oh, what's going on here? I got this thing's out of focus. There we go. My hands touching the screen, changing the focus point, I guess. Definitely down. So this tremor, these shocks, I really do notice that the valving is a lot softer initially, like the first, I don't know, 2 inches of shock travel, which really helps, you know, reduce the jarring, like how sharp the potholes and bumps in the road feel. Like it softens them a bit, and then it stiffens up. So overall, I'm quite happy. I don't have any complaints about this truck other than the backup cameras, which I've been told they're supposed to be a recall on because the quality was really poor. It's not like the Dodge that I had. There's nothing much I liked about it. I wouldn't want to come out here in that. I don't think it would have done very well with the factory tires. At least these tires are pretty good. They're the Goodyear Duratrax, but they're actually not snowflake rated in this particular size. Whereas in a lot of the other sizes they are. I'm assuming because of the weight of the truck and the load capacity of the tires, they're using a harder tread like rubber compound. So just to help with tread wear, which means that, you know, it's not going to have the same pliability and durometer rating that the snowflake rated ones are. So, but in any case, they seem to be doing okay. It's warmed up a little bit. So it's minus 10 right now. On the road, birds. Nope, there's ruts in the road I can see. Off in the distance, I can just see there's a tree line right in the center of the rut, about 450 yards up there. The snow's getting a little deeper out here. The ruts look like they're about 7 inches deep now. Definitely balancing in them. Not really getting out of them. This thing's got pretty good clearance, so I haven't noticed any dragging or anything like that. But if I get out of these ruts, it might be a little interesting. This isn't a road to travel in the wintertime for the faint of heart, that's for sure. If you do get stuck out here, it sucks. There's no cell phone service, and you're a long ways from town. You're not going to get much traffic out here other than maybe snowmobilers. And yeah, you gotta spend the night. It gets cold. It'll be a bad situation. So I'm very conscious of how far I'm going into this, because if I get out of these ruts and off of the side of the road where the road crowns off, it could be crappy. I'm not backing up this hill. It doesn't back up very well, being so heavy in the front and light in the rear. It just wants to go off to the side of the road. Anyways, I'm gonna put this on pause for a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely, the ruts are probably 10 inches pieces. So it's pushing me around a little bit. Problem is when it's like this and then it starts snowing, you've got no idea sometimes how deep those ruts are. So you really gotta be careful. You can be driving down a road like this and you see these ruts, and just the way the snow sort of hits them, like there's not a lot of rounding on the bottom of them to give you an indication that they're deep. So you keep going and you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm good, you know, 8-10 inch ruts or whatever, and you're good to keep going, and then you end up in like 2 feet of snow and you don't even realize it. So definitely want to be careful. Like, I don't want to push this too hard. I mean, obviously right now it's not a big deal, but the real issue is getting turned around, getting off of the road, like turning out of these ruts. You get stuck like right away, especially if it's crusted over. So I don't know, I'm starting to lose a little bit of my optimism as far as getting out to the falls. We'll see. Wolf up there. I hope I got it. I must have missed it. There was a wolf on the road. I gotta try and get this on video. Where the heck? Darn it. I missed getting them on the video there. stays on the side of the road, but they don't. Coyotes will. The wolves, as soon as they hear you and see you, they're gone. It's one of the ways you kind of can tell from a distance whether it's a wolf or a coyote, because they bugger off like right away. Nope. Crap. There's a lot more wolves out here than people want you to realize. They're hard on the deer and the moose and everything else. You don't realize it. Well, that sucks. I was really hoping I'd get that. Probably have it on the dash camera. Quality won't be very good. It's definitely starting to get a little deeper. It's not that bad. I mean, it's close to basically at the level. What is it? Maybe 6 inches below the running boards. So, well, we're at Monkman. We're not too far from the turnoff into Kinuseo Falls. I don't remember the beaver pond being that big out there. Getting close. It's hard to beat the peace and serenity out here, boy. I was just past the pullout there for the hiking trail to Jade Falls. A few other places out here you can hike to from that point as well. Snow's not as deep here as it was back there. About a kilometer or so, not even half a kilometer. Seemed to let up. I think the trees are holding on to more of it. The extra depth back there is probably just from the wind blowing it. I'm surprised whoever's been out here sure likes to hug the inside of that corner with their vehicle. If they spin, they get sucked right into the ditch. I don't like doing that, especially when you're going uphill. Spots on the road there. Whoever came out here before, I could see they were dragging their differential. Looked like a IFS truck because it was right in the center. So that's another thing to look at. You know, if you're in a vehicle that you know isn't as high off the ground as some of the others, then you start seeing that, you know for sure you're dragging. This road goes a long ways past the turnoff too. I've been right to the end before, and well, not the end, but for another 35 kilometers out here, and then the road is dug up and there's a big ditch across it. You can get across with a quad, but there's a sign, 1 kilometer. Lots of caribou out here, lots of grizzlies. Oh yeah, we can get in here. I think that'll be an issue. I'm going to put it in low range just so that this thing doesn't want to spin or traction control kick in on me. I've got it in deep snow and sand, so hopefully that doesn't look too bad at all. What do you know? I like it. I did not know if we were going to get in here, but this is no problem. Zoom out a little bit. There, This was definitely worth the trip then. I don't have the rear differential locked or anything. There's no need in this stuff. Bumpy though. Stay up. Not to get that on my window. That's the problem out here, is all these willows and softwood stuff that flops over with the wet, heavy snow. There's the river, getting close to the falls. There it is there. I gotta focus on the road here though. Oh, I can see him. I've been out here since 2009. Looks pretty much the same. When I first came out here in the early mid-2000s, the pine beetles had just really starting to get hold of the pine trees out here, and there were, lots of red dead trees, and then within a couple of years everything was red as far as you can see. I don't want to scratch my truck. Ah. I have to get my boots out of the back. Yeah. Walking to the lookout. All the folded rock. As long as I don't see any wolves right now, the bears should be sleeping, but you never know. You can go way up there. There's another lookout. cold though. The wind is cold. It's like minus 10 or 11. Head back to the truck. Get out of here before it gets dark. Oh, kids from Tumbler Ridge used to come out here and get drunk and fall off. It's not funny, but it's actually what happened, and happens probably still. I don't know, there's probably 8 inches of snow out here. I'm just in a sweater, so it's kind of, yeah, it's cold. Well, just making my way back to the truck. Yeah, so far the truck's doing pretty good. The canopy I bought, I thought was supposed to be a mid-height. It's not, but I think it looks better. The only problem is getting into it with the tailgate up isn't great. Over the history.